Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog, and we are back for the finals of round 2 of the Castle Combe Karting Championships. And in the heats we had 3rd place, 2nd place, 3rd place, and in the final heat a heat win, and that was good enough to put us P2 in the B final. So we are starting in the qualification place to get into the back of the A final, and ahead of us is Seb, who's a very fast driver. He's usually right up near the top, and we had a little chat to him before the final, and was just kind of making a bit of a plan, as it were. We decided that Seb's obviously much faster than me, so I just kind of said to him, look, I'm not going to be chucking it up the inside of the first corner, getting into an instant with you and ruining both of our chances. So we kind of just held our line, or agreed to hold our line. Seb was just going to go his racing line. I wouldn't chuck it up the inside last minute and put anything at risk. And I was just going to try and stay on the back of him, use his speed to drag me along, not fight and waste any time, and then hopefully we just do our 8 laps and we sail straight through into the A final. So we will go ahead now and see how.
It was marked right at the back.
Okay then guys, here we are, and as you can see, I'm not pleased the way I slapped my number down there. We've got kart 13 again, our favourite one of the day. If you've watched the previous 2 videos with the heats, you'll know that I wasn't this kart's biggest fan. The throttle felt a bit sticky at times, making some horrible noises going around corners that weren't happening when I was in other karts, so I don't think it was my technique, but you get what you're given. I did have a word with the marsh before and see if I could change. Unfortunately that wasn't an option. They did say if my times were like terrible and I started falling back, then they'd swap me around, but we'll see what happens basically. So as I said just now, the plan is to follow Seb round. So we've got in the cart, just waiting for them to get everything ready, taking the stoppers out of the wheels, the guys at the front, getting ourselves kind of prepared. We'd had quite a long wait actually, because we were in one of the later finals. I was in the last heat of the day, but then of course there was about 4 or 5 finals before us, and being 8 laps, they're closer to 5-6 minutes than 3 minutes or so for the 5 lap ones. So it was a bit of a wait, but out we go to the track, testing the throttle, seeing how it feels. I smacked my knuckles on the nose there, so just trying to adjust that a bit so I didn't do that in the race. And here we go, we get to our spot. Long old wait when you're at the front, because you've got to wait for all 10 karts to file down and line up. And so yeah, we'll just wait, see when the lights go and see what kind of a start we get. Still waiting, like I said, long old wait. There we go, we're away, and we've got a hell of a start. We actually get side by side with Seb, but he's got the inside line, so we're not going to do anything too crazy. We just kind of make sure that we don't get pushed out by the guy behind him, squeeze that chicane, and there we are. Part 1 of the plan achieved. We've stayed in 2nd, Seb's ahead, and we're on his tail. As I said, we haven't fought him at any point through that first lap. So now it's nice and simple. Head down, follow Seb, steal all of his good braking points and turning in points and everything, learn where his line's different to mine, and see if that can result in any improvements in my times. And here we go, and looking over the shoulders for the first couple of laps just to make sure no one's going to send it up the inside. Being at the front like this isn't really a feeling I'm used to. I'm usually towards the back and struggling to chase the guy in front. As we see, I lost a little bit of time coming down the hill there, so Seb's got a couple of kart length gap, but that's alright. Gives us a bit of breathing space as well, so we can just kind of do our race, make sure nobody catches up behind us. Still taking the race in line, and I was happy with how I was taking this top corner. You see I'm not really losing any time through that one, and it was this corner here, the right hander as you come down the hill. I took it quite nice that time, but I was sliding around it a lot all day. And yeah, this is going well. This is the plan, this is what we wanted to do. just solidify our P2, because top 2 go through to that A final, and to be in the A final in only round 2 would be epic for me. I'd be well happy with that, which we finished 19th overall last time, and I was happy with that. So to get into that A final means we're in the top 10, and that was my goal for the whole season. So let's see if we can hold on. And as you see, the gap is staying about the same. Pretty happy with that. The kart's not being too bad actually in this one. I have to moan about it quite a bit. It's doing what I need it to do. Still making a few funny noises, and we slid there. You maybe heard in the background, obviously I got the sound reduced. There was a little bit like grind, and that's as both pedals were engaged. And as I said, when I raced other karts it didn't happen, so I'm almost certain there was something going on with the throttle just sticking a little bit. I may be wrong, and maybe my technique was bad when I was in this kart. By this point it got into my head a little bit, but yeah, and I just kind of slid a bit in that previous lap. But we're getting through the laps now. Happy with this so far. You see I went defensive there. I think somebody trying to send it up the inside. We've got to be getting towards the end of the heat there. Marshall waving his arms there with the hairpin. Not sure what that was about. Don't know if he was just a bit bored, nothing going on in this race for him to watch. Yeah, so we go defensive here, so there's definitely someone up behind us now. And there we go, we see a nose cone. We're ahead though, so we're just going to take that inside line, cut off that corner, and just block off those overtake opportunities. Last lap now, I think, so we get the hairpin. Nice. That was a worrying moment for me. I've been challenged into coming down the hill. Mistake there, and that A final might slip through my fingers, but we held it. We'll go defensive up here, stick to the inside, no way through, and stick to the inside down here. Doesn't really matter if we're slow at this point down the hill. We're in the qualifying position. It's the last lap, and there we go, the checkered flag. We have done it. We are through into the A final. We finished P2 in the B final, so that qualifies us through to the back of the grid for the A final. So we will be starting in P10 for the A final. Okay then guys, here we are, the A final, and starting from the back of the grid obviously, because we finished second in the B final. I do have to say, unfortunately, I didn't get all of this race. The GoPro battery died just a few laps in, I'm afraid, so we're not going to see all of this heat, which is a shame, but I'll explain more in a minute. So here we go, we're coming to the back of the grid. Same as last time, thumbs up to Dad and Ian there, and yeah, same as last time, miles back. Looking over the heads of the guys in front, there's the green light, and poor start ahead. Guy shifts left, he gets kind of squeezed out, and we're looking alright. We're behind Seb, good place to be, and we're going to just try and trail up the hill. And here, it kind of gets a bit squirrely, and I kind of don't want to wipe Seb out, so I pull left, and then now I'm out of the train, and I'm on the outside line, and as I try and get back inside, there's just nothing on, and we lose out quite bad there. We're going to try and send up the inside here, and then we don't want to put that guy in the wall, so we go wide, and he takes full advantage of that and dives back through. The guy in front of the guy in front of us getting a black and white flag there for his antics on the first lap. I think he caused quite a bump, and now we've fallen to the back of the grid, unfortunately, and we were hoping to stick on the back of Seb, clear through the back couple, and then get in a fight with the fast guys. Big slide ahead, so we're feeling like we can probably get a position here, overtake the guy in front, sweep him round. We know we've got at least one position because of the black and white flag ahead, and I slide horribly in that hairpin, lose a bit of time, and we're going to come to the end of the footage just at the top of the hill here, I think. And yeah, unfortunately that is where the GoPro gave up the ghost for the day. The gaps between the finals was a little longer than anticipated. Went into the first final with about 30% battery and thought I'd be alright for both. In hindsight, I should have just changed the battery. I had a spare on me, had plenty of time to do it, so that would have been the sensible thing to do. I didn't know, so unfortunately there's no more footage of that final. It was a relatively dull one from there on out. Me and the guy in front of me, Sebastiano I think it is, we both overtook the guy in front of him who had the 2-place penalty, so we finished P9 on the road, which put us P9 overall on the day. So I'm super happy with that. I wanted to hit a top 10 at some point in the season, and I've done it in round 2. We've started to get a few rivals, a few people we race alongside or we're about the same speed of. So we're going to take a bit of a more deeper dive into that, look at the championship standings after 2 rounds. It's only 2 rounds, there's not much to look at, but it might be interesting all the same. My fastest lap of the day this week was a 25.92, which was about half a second off my fastest from round 1, but then the fastest lap of the day was about half a second off from round 1 as well. So I think it was just maybe a little bit slower all round in this one rather than the first round. I have now entered the remaining 6 rounds as well, paid up for those, so the full 8 rounds of the season will be coming, 1 each month. Already got the days booked off and everything, so yeah, keep a lookout for those each month, and we'll go over the final standings and the championship standings now. Okay then guys, so here we are, final standings from the event itself, round 2. So just a quick look at the bottom 6 there, 41st to 46. It was a full 48 at the start. I'm not sure what happened right there. I think there was some trouble on the motorway, some people didn't make it, maybe a retirement as well. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. So 21st to 40th. There we go, a few names from Heat 1. A couple that were ahead of me in Heat 1, now behind me in this one, so happy with that. And then we get on to the top 20, and as we can see there, I am confirmed in P9, right behind Sebastiano, who was just in front of us in that A final, obviously. And we see Sam Slater won this round with the 1 point for pole position. However, Neil Durant managed to take fastest lap off him by 0.02 of a second, so that was really tight at the top. So yeah, the top of the championship looking tight, and I'm happy with my 9th place and 40 points. We'll take a look now at the overall championship standings. So as we can see, this is the standings after 2 rounds. We are in 10th place overall with 70 points, tied with Shane Lucas, who seems to have mirrored our results, 19th in this round 2, and he must have finished 10th in round 1. So we can see we've got a couple of guys around us that we've been finishing similar to. So I think going forward we're going to look at Shane Lucas and Sebastiano Benzi and see how we compare to those guys. Maybe a little bit of a rivalry. So if they're at each heat, we'll track where they're finishing if we're in the same heats as them. If not, then we'll see where we're finishing in relation how we are on the table throughout the day. See if we're going to be in any finals with them, and see if we can beat those guys and climb up the championship order. Now, obviously, we're looking to finish inside the top 10. You count your best 6 out of 8 results, so I'm hoping that round 1 score will be one of my dropped results, and we'll have a lot of top 10 finishes, and we'll finish comfortably inside the top 10 come the end of the season. But we'll see. There's 6 more rounds to go, a lot to happen. But yeah, it was a really good day again, so thank you to everybody for watching. I hope you stick around and check out the future rounds and see what else I got coming up. All the indoor tracks are open as well now, so we're going to be going to a bunch more of those, some members only races, things like that, so plenty more karting footage to come. Feel free to post in the comments, let me know any improvements you think I need to make, any tips, tricks, things you like, things you don't like. That would be fantastic, and don't be afraid to drop a like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much guys, have a great day.